Welcome to Cheater Confessions. Let's get started with today's story. Amelia had been looking forward to her cousin's engagement party for weeks. It was 2 hours away, and she wanted me to go. I told her I was behind on work and needed the weekend to get caught up. That was partly true. The other part was that I just didn't want to spend 2 days making small talk with people I barely knew. She left Friday afternoon with her overnight bag and a hug that felt routine. Said she'd be back Sunday night. Saturday was quiet. I made coffee, went through some emails, and spent most of the afternoon in the bedroom, stretched out on the bed with my laptop. At some point, I needed a pen to sign a couple of forms. I could have gone to the desk in the living room, but I didn't feel like getting up. I checked my own bedside drawer first. Nothing but a couple of receipts and loose change. Out of habit, my eyes went to Amelia's side. Her drawer was filled with bits and pieces of her personal things. She always kept it neat and organized. I never really went through her stuff before, but my pen situation had me desperate enough to slide it open and start looking. Under a small stack of papers, almost tucked away, I saw it. A box of condoms. The brand was unfamiliar, the packaging crisp. I was confused looking at it. Amelia and I had never used protection, not once in our 9 years together. It was something we just understood. No conversation needed. I picked up the box. It was partially open. Inside, one condom was missing. I set it back exactly as I'd found it, papers on top, drawer closed. The house was still quiet, but I wasn't. I didn't touch the drawer again that day. I didn't want to risk putting something back wrong and tipping her off. That night, Amelia called from the party, the usual check-in. "How's everything over there?" she asked. "Quiet," I said. "Getting some work done." "You?" She laughed. "Same. Just a lot of food and a lot of people asking when we're coming to visit again." Her voice sounded normal. Too normal. I didn't mention the drawer. When we hung up, I sat there in the dark for a while, going over the last few months in my head. Late work nights, more time on her phone, a couple of weekends where she'd said she was meeting friends but never invited me along. Things I'd brushed off at the time. The box in the drawer changed that. Sunday night, when she came home, I paid attention to everything. Her tone, her expressions, the way she avoided putting her overnight bag on the bed. She left it in the hallway instead. Over dinner, I tested the waters. "So, who made it to the party?" I asked. "Oh, just family. You didn't miss much." "Anyone bring their plus ones?" She looked up for a second, then back at her plate. "Yeah, a couple of cousins did." "Why?" "Just curious," I said. The rest of the night was uneventful. On Monday morning, after she left for work, I called John, an old friend who ran a small security supply shop. I told him I needed a couple of discrete cameras and maybe a GPS tracker for my car, pretending it was for a project at work. He didn't ask questions. By Wednesday, I had a small package in my hands: 2 button-sized cameras, a voice recorder, and a magnetic GPS tracker. I didn't plan to accuse her, not yet. I planned to watch. If something was happening, I was going to see it for myself. Early Friday morning, before Amelia was even out of bed, I slipped outside to her car. I crouched low and stuck the GPS tracker under the rear bumper, magnet locking it into place. Back inside, I waited for her to leave for work before planting the cameras. One went in the corner of the living room bookshelf, tucked between 2 photo frames. The other I mounted inside our bedroom closet, angled toward the door but hidden behind a stack of shoe boxes. I tested both feeds on my phone. Clear picture, no hum in the audio. Perfect. The first few days were boring. GPS showed Amelia driving the same routes: office, grocery store, yoga studio. Footage at home was nothing but her reading on the couch, making dinner, and watching TV. Then, the following Thursday, I caught something. The bedroom camera picked up her on the phone, pacing. She was facing away from the camera, voice low. "No, Monday's better. Yes, same place. Don't text until I say." She hung up fast, stuffed the phone into her bag, and went back to folding laundry. I checked the GPS from earlier that day. Between 2:15 and 4:40 p.m., her car had been parked at a small hotel about 15 minutes from her office. That night, I asked casually, "Busy day?" She didn't even flinch. "Just the usual. Meetings, then yoga." I nodded, but inside, the picture was getting clearer. Friday morning, she left earlier than normal. The tracker showed her stopping at the same hotel for an hour before heading to work. I saved the GPS logs, downloaded the audio clip from the camera, and backed them up on an external drive. Whatever was happening, I was getting closer to seeing it in full. That Friday night, Amelia came through the door with her usual bright smile. "How was your day?" I asked, leaning on the kitchen counter. "Long," she said, kicking off her heels. "Back-to-back meetings. Then I grabbed takeout with some people from work." "What'd you have?" I kept my tone casual. "Thai. You know that place on 5th. I nodded slowly. "Who'd you go with?" She hesitated just enough for me to notice. "Oh, Sarah and a couple of the new hires." Sarah was the one co-worker she knew I'd met before. Easy to drop into a story. The new hires part was vague enough to dodge specifics. Later, when she went upstairs to shower, I checked the GPS log again. At the exact time she claimed she was having Thai with co-workers, her car had been parked at the hotel for 2 hours. It was her second visit to that same hotel, in the same day. I didn't confront her. Not yet. That night, after she went to bed, I pulled the memory card from the living room camera and sat in my office. Scanning through the footage, I stopped cold when I heard her voice. She was on the phone again, pacing near the couch. "Yeah, same room. No text until I say." It was the same line I'd caught before, just clearer this time. The next morning, over breakfast, I said, "Thinking about taking Monday off. Maybe we could go somewhere." She didn't look up from her coffee. "Can't. Big meeting that afternoon." I just smiled. Right. Inside, the pieces were locking into place. If Monday was fine for her mystery caller, then Monday was when I'd get exactly what I needed. Monday morning, I went to work as usual. Said goodbye, like always, didn't let on that I knew anything. I kept an eye on the GPS app from my desk. At 11:42 a.m., Amelia's car left the driveway and went straight to that hotel. She stayed just over an hour before heading home. That evening, after I got home, I checked the camera feed from the bedroom. That's when I saw it. Around 2:15 p.m., Amelia came into the house alone. 20 minutes later, she brought someone inside. A man, tall, wearing a dark jacket, probably the man from the hotel. His face was clear in the shot. They kissed like people who'd done it before, her hands on his neck, no hesitation, no awkwardness. They stayed in the room for almost an hour before he left through the back door. There was no question left. I backed up the file in 3 places, same as the GPS logs and audio clips. Now it wasn't about if I would confront her, it was when. When I closed the laptop, I felt something I hadn't since I found the condoms. Certainty. I waited 2 days, long enough for her to believe nothing had changed, short enough for me to do the research I needed to protect myself. Wednesday night, she came home later than usual, said traffic was bad and meetings ran long. I told her I had something to show her. In the bedroom, I had my laptop open on the desk. She leaned against the doorway, half smiling. "What's this about?" "Come here," I said. "You'll see." She walked over. The video started playing, her and the man in our bedroom. The kiss, the way she pulled him in, the way they moved was like they'd done it more than once. Her smile collapsed. She froze, eyes locked on the screen. "This isn't," she started. "It is," I cut in. She tried again. "Grant, please, it's not what you think. It was a mistake, just one time." "Monday wasn't one time," I said, my voice flat. "Neither were the other hotel visits. I've been tracking your car for weeks. I've got your calls on tape. This is just the part you can't talk your way around." Her face went pale. You were spying on me?" "I was finding out the truth," I said. "Big difference." She reached out, maybe to touch my arm, but I stepped back. "You've got 2 options, Amelia. You pack your things tonight, leave quietly, and I will never share this video. Or you can try to stay, and tomorrow it goes to your family, your friends, and your coworkers." She stared at me, blinking fast, like she was trying to find the right line to throw. Nothing came. "Grant, please." Her voice cracked. I didn't answer. I just closed the laptop and pointed to her suitcase in the closet. Amelia stood there for a long time, hands hanging at her sides. Then she walked to the closet, took the suitcase down, and started folding clothes without a word. I sat in the armchair by the window and watched. No yelling, no throwing things, just the sound of hangers scraping the rod and drawers opening and closing. Halfway through packing, she stopped. "Grant, I'm sorry. I don't even know why I—" "Don't," I said. "I'm not interested in reasons. Just finish." She looked at me for a second, like she wanted to fight, but then kept packing. By midnight, she had 2 bags by the door. I carried them out to her car. She lingered in the driveway. Where am I supposed to go? You've got friends, I said. Figure it out. Her jaw tightened. This doesn't have to be the end. It already is. She got in, started the engine, and pulled away without another word. The next morning, I called a divorce attorney. By Friday, the paperwork was in motion. Amelia didn't contest a thing. Not the split of the bank account, not me keeping the house. She signed and sent everything back in record time. A week later, I heard she was staying with someone from her yoga class. The story she was telling was that we'd grown apart and decided to end things. I didn't bother correcting it. Let her keep her version. I knew the real one. When the divorce was final, I gathered every piece of evidence, the GPS logs, the recordings, the video, and printed everything. Screenshots, call transcripts, timestamps. I put them all in a folder, labeled and sealed. Then I slid the folder into the back of my safe. Not for leverage, just as a reminder. The house felt bigger with her gone, quieter. I liked it that way. 2 months after the divorce was final, an envelope showed up in my mailbox. No return address. Inside was a plain note card. You didn't have to ruin everything. No signature, but I didn't need one. The handwriting was Amelia's. I set the note on the counter and went upstairs. From the safe, I pulled out the folder, printed GPS logs, call transcripts, screenshots from the footage. Clean, organized, undeniable. After I got the recording months ago, I'd done some quiet digging on the man in it. Wasn't hard. A quick search through public social media gave me everything: his last name, his address, and the fact that he had a wife. Now I took the folder, put it in a padded mailer, and addressed it to his wife. I didn't include a note. She would understand as soon as she opened it. 3 days later, I got a text from an unknown number. I saw everything. Thank you for showing me the truth. There was no name, but I knew it was her. The woman in the family photos I'd found online, smiling beside him like she had all the facts. I read it twice, then set the phone down. She didn't owe me thanks, but I understood why she sent it. People deserve to see what's real, no matter how ugly it is. I deleted the message and went back to my coffee. My part in their story was finished. That night, sitting in the chair, I thought about the shift from then to now. Back then, I was looking for a pen. Now, I didn't need anything from her. Not answers, not closure. I already had both. Whatever Amelia was doing now didn't matter. I wasn't watching anymore. And that, more than anything, was the win. Thank you for watching.